forecast first. Sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
It's been a nice day today, and once again, like yesterday, we have a few spotty rain showers out there. And some of those spotty rain showers have caused our temperatures to fall, like in Danville, where it's at 69. Champaign is at 75 degrees, and there are a couple little cells that are out there where temperatures remaining at about 80 or so in places like Pontiac, Bloomington, Lincoln, Mattoon, as well as in Effingham. We can see some of those cells looking east on our Betcha weather camera from Champaign on a roofing dog eye net. We've got winds out of the west or so, up to around 10 miles per hour. It still is overall, though, a nice backyard forecast. Just look out for maybe one of those stray showers, and we're calling for another nice day for tomorrow. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
It's so incredibly selfish.
More details on a COVID-19 outbreak in one community. Now businesses are left to take the hit after 10 people tested positive. Plus, the governor has already faced several lawsuits over the stay-at-home order. This time, he's being served one from a pro-life group.
It also keeps things in use rather than just going to the landfill.
It's a garage sale one organization says you don't want to miss. Why they say it'll be.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
Teenagers think they're invincible.
But this time, they weren't. We have new information tonight about a COVID-19 outbreak in Mahomet, where businesses are shutting down for deep cleanings after employees tested positive. Good evening. I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The outbreak was announced yesterday after 10 new cases were tied to an unofficial prom. It happened 2 weeks ago at someone's house. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live in our newsroom now. So, Courtney, Public Health asking anybody who was there to get tested.
Yes, Jennifer, and that's about 40 people. They already talked on the phone with those who did test positive, and all of those people are in isolation. From there, health officials went through contact tracing. That means tracking down those who have been at the party and who they interacted with. Once those other people are tracked down, they'll be in quarantine for 14 days. But in this case, that amount has already passed, that amount of time. 3 Mahomet businesses have closed temporarily in the last week for cleanings connected to COVID-19. At least one of those was because of an employee who tested positive after going to that unofficial prom. Jennifer Couch lives in Mahomet. Her son goes to Mahomet Seymour High School, but didn't go to that event. She says she wasn't surprised to hear about what happened.
So I think it was very, very irresponsible on the parents' part to allow this to take place in their home in this community. It just really put a lot of lives at risk, by their actions. I'm really disappointed that it happened here.
Health officials say no one who tested positive from that event was hospitalized. Most didn't even show symptoms. However, we know those people can still infect others. I talked to someone who did get the virus after interacting with someone who went to the prom. You'll hear from them tonight at 6. I also talked to several people who told me about the family who hosted the event. I called the family, contacted them on Facebook, and went to their house, but I didn't get an answer. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Courtney, thank you so much. Mahomet Seymour school leaders are canceling all in-person activities because of the outbreak. That includes in-person athletic training and driver's ed classes. In an email to parents, the superintendent said this was done, quote, out of an abundance of caution. She said these suspensions were until further notice. As for the state, 715 more people have tested positive for a total of more than 138,000. The positivity rate for the past week is 3%. The recovery rate is at 94%. The state's also reporting another 64 deaths. There have been nearly 6,800 so far. Governor Pritzker is facing another lawsuit. Gyms, salons, and a state lawmaker and political parties have all sued him over the stay-at-home order. This time, a pro-life group says it is ready for its day in court. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Franklin explains.
Right to Life is the latest group to sue the governor over the stay-at-home order. The pro-life organization says the order violates their freedom to assemble. The group says early on they strictly followed the order by canceling rallies, training events, and panels. But like other groups that have taken their cause to court, Right to Life Illinois leaders say seeing the governor protest led them to seek permission to gather without the fear of being punished.
None of this is to argue whether or not he has a right to do that, because we believe he absolutely does, and we support his right to support those causes. But we also believe that we should have that same right. And so we want to go about this in the legal way as opposed to just breaking the order. So that's why we filed this lawsuit.
The group says many of their teachings are more effective in person, so they hope the courts will rule in their favor. Reporting in Springfield, Gabrielle Franklin.
The center representing the group is also handling the state's GOP case against the governor. A motion to temporarily stop the enforcement of the order will be heard in federal court Monday morning. Salary cuts are coming to Urbana police officers, and the department's K-9 squad car won't be replaced yet. That's the impact of a city council decision last night. It followed a meeting that spanned 2 days. Council members voted to reduce the police department's budget by $120,000. The department's annual budget is $35 million. Some members wanted that budget cut in half. Instead, patrol officers will take a 2% salary cut. The department will also wait a year to replace the K-9 car. Tomorrow night, council members will talk again about the future of the department's policing methods. Repairs are being made after a gas line was hit today. It happened at the intersection of East Daniel and 3rd in Champaign late this morning. Ameren says someone hit a 2-inch gas main. 3 customers don't have service right now. The gas has been shut off while they fix the problem. It's not unusual to see firefighters training, but today in Danville, they were practicing decontamination after a hazardous materials call. They don't get to do it very often, but they say decon is just as important as the actual cleanup. WCIA3's Andy Olson shows you.
Every week, firefighters in Danville get the chance to train and keep their skills sharp. Every month they do hazardous materials training, but because there's so much to learn for hazmat responses, they don't always get to focus on decontamination. The Danville Fire Department is focusing on hazmat training all week. They practice the rollout and cleaning procedures of their mobile hazmat van and even got some help from a local reporter. The Danville chief says these sessions are key for staying safe when responding to hazmat calls.
It's just as important, probably more important, that we all go home safe at the end of the incident, just like any other emergency incident. So these guys taking their part, doing their part, taking their time, making sure that they're getting everybody clean, getting them properly clean.
The fire department says training, as well as having a good test subject, are integral in making sure they stay sharp when these kind of calls come. In Danville, Andy Olson, WCIA3, your local news leader.
The fire department says they only have half a dozen hazardous materials calls a year. Hazmat training continues tomorrow at DAC. It's a group that once grew to nearly 20 times its original size, and it's celebrating a major milestone in our town, Hoopeston. And it's a chance for some to own a piece of history they may have forgotten. What you can pick up this weekend at one organization.